I don't need these anymore. Well, that wasn't the plan.
Well, at least you confirmed what happens if you continuously heat and cool something.
Wow, I can't believe it finally popped.
That was like the most violent pop ever.
And all it needed was a little bit of that.
Like, what do those weigh? What do the house headphones weigh? Like 3 pounds?
Not that much.
Dude,
Probably like 4 ounces.
If you did nothing in the middle of the night, or like you grabbed that, your hand would be gone right now. You kind of saved your own life. It didn't really register with me right away. I thought your headphones made that sound when you threw them down. They were just like really heavy. Dude, did you see the opening on that though? Like if you went to grab that,
it fucking tore apart
with the same force that you like, probably more force than what your headphones would be.
Yeah.
What if that happened mid-recording to you?
I would have no computer.
you would have no face. I wonder what's in that stuff that like the pressure continuously built up for that long.
Liquids that I was heating. I really thought it was gonna take a bit longer to have that explode during recording, but I guess throwing something almost directly onto it would do it.
You did have the sense a while ago, like you did believe it was going to explode. That was the indicator.
There's gonna be two results that could have come from that. It either explodes or it gets to the point where I drink it.
I wish we were recording during that.
Well, we got the audio.
Wait, you actually got that?
Yeah.
I wonder how that sounded.
I have no clue. I'm very curious. That's amazing. I can't see what it tastes like.
Okay.
Just tastes like flat story. It tastes like if I left it out for 1 hour.
All right, let me guess. It probably tastes like you cooked all of the essential ingredients out of it.
By the way, that's been under my computer on and off while I've been recording since September 20th. So I don't know when we're supposed to introduce this.
You could say like what this is or what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So we had kind of a weird start to this. I brought an idea to Nick. I guess this is my form of hypotheticals, hypothetical YouTube channels and stuff like that. I wanted to do a podcast with him where we play Mario Kart, but you guys don't get to see that. You just hear the conversations we have, because we've kind of had a tradition being in college together where some nights we just play a bunch of Mario Kart and we get into very deep and or funny and or loopy conversations that are very enjoyable.
Well, you true fans, you've seen the original videos.
Yeah.
You know what's out there.
Video. Yeah, there's one.
Well, we also have like other Wii games.
Yeah.
That are reminiscent, but yeah,
similar.
Mario Kart's the one.
So the conversations are always the highlight of those Mario Kart sessions. The game is pretty secondary compared to them. So we just figured we'd make a podcast where we only talk and, well, we play the game and it's just the catalyst for the conversations that you get to hear us have.
I'm not entirely sure yet what we're gonna call this though.
Yeah, this is like the pilot episode, but we don't really know how it's gonna go. We haven't planned out much. We just kind of started doing it.
Yeah. This is essentially just trying to like capture the ordinary conditions when we're not recording, what we usually would be found doing.
Yeah. I plan on making, like, we need to come up with a name for it, and I need to design just our original Luigi circuit. By the way, there's Mario Kart on the Wii. We need to make a name for this, and I plan on designing a logo for it at some point, like a different Lightning Round Battlegrounds.
I didn't hear that last part, but
nobody else did. Don't worry. I don't know how much we should even talk about the game, since I said it was secondary. Don't even worry about it.
I mean, there's also not much that can be said about it.
Yeah, we're just kind of going. I'm playing as Daisy, biking.
It's like we say like absolutely nothing the whole time, like just like dead quiet. But just let it happen naturally. There's gonna be a lot of like dead points.
I'm trying to think how many dead points there are in the actual, like, the times we've done this not recording.
It's usually like not a single second is spared where we're not talking incessantly. Even if like we don't have to, it doesn't contribute to anything.
I think it's gonna help not having a camera or like recording the gameplay, because we can kind of just get more into it. It's a little bit more natural. We might even forget at a certain point that we're playing. I mean, that we're recording this. We're just playing games.
Yeah. The other thing, before you started recording, I was sitting here kind of reminiscing about when we played Indiana Jones almost in exactly these same conditions.
Yeah.
Even though it was hotter out, it was like equally muggy. We just didn't really have any particular plans for this. I was just like, I brought the game. Actually, no, you had the game here. And,
yeah, because you loaned it to me.
Yeah.
Play.
We were just like, why not?
That was over 1.5 years ago now.
I know. That also weirds me out because I thought there was going to be a definite point of reflection, kind of living on my own. I thought there was going to be a definite point I was going to like look back and kind of reflect on how things changed, but I never got to that. And it feels like this past, like, I guess, a little bit over a year and a half of like this process, because April of that year feels more like 6 months to me.
Yeah, maybe that's just a thing with us, like,
Yeah.
being in this new part of our lives, being, like, away from our original homes and kind of transitioning into a new stage of life.
Exactly.
It just feels like it's flying by, and also just getting older.
I know.
So that's a thing.
Time literally is, like, picking up exponentially to me, it seems like. I mean, also, like, repetition is a huge part of that.
Yeah. To get into
I can't speak for you.
Routine.
Like, you probably, I mean, you have your routine here, but also, like, even with school, going through, like, a continuous process of, like, you're, like, mandated by schedule, and you have, like, something to lose and something to gain by, like, not doing precisely that. That really makes me think time is just moving very quickly, because like especially in the first couple months I lived here at Redacted. By the way, you don't have to cut, or you don't have to keep this part in, but I don't know if you've seen Oni's plays when they like redact sounds. They put like monster noises in.
Oh,
they go like it's just like, yeah, it just cracked me up. But
do they make their noises themselves?
I don't know. I think so.
Okay.
Are you taking that noise exactly? like with the hamster dance song?
And that's what's gonna go over every time we need to redact something.
But they would know immediately that it's like we're ripping off Oni's plays, because that's exactly what their censor sounds like.
Okay. Anyway, I already forget what you're talking about.
Well, yeah. So like time is like moving pretty quickly, and it never felt like a chapter. Like, even though I totally expected it would. I was like, oh shit. Because more or less, to me, it was an experiment just to see, like, how I would do. I didn't really plan on, like, moving back home with my parents, but I did plan on, I don't know, maybe considering a change after a 1 year marker or so.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that point hasn't gotten there. I still feel like I'm, like, I'm comfortable, but I still feel like I'm getting, like, used to it, I guess.
Yeah, I've been a little bit longer, like, in this location at least.
Yeah.
So I think I'm a little bit more settled in than you are.
Yeah, because you've got like an extra year on me with this. I mean, maybe it wasn't like exactly the same standard or like the same circumstances of what we've got here today, but like, did that feel any different to you?
It's been very different comparing those two parts, because the first year was like my transition.
Yeah.
And it was so different because, the first 18 years I was living like entirely in that one town.
Yeah.
And with my parents, like, I didn't really know privacy to this extent.
Yeah.
Or like individualism,
Yeah.
So not only was I doing that, but I was also living with 3 new people that I liked and disliked to varying degrees. Hope you're doing well, Joey and Dylan. Other one, no comment. What's your name?
You didn't even bother giving them a possibility to censor. You just redacted it from your memory.
So that was very strange, because there was just like so much new stuff, and like going to a new school, new city, everything was new.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was just kind of things changed a little bit more gradually. Like then it was okay. Now I changed my major. Now I'm getting a different roommate. Roommates are leaving. Then you came in.
Yeah.
And things started to slow down a little bit, just because I'm in college now, and not much can change anymore. That first year was very strange to me. I can never forget that first day waking up after moving in here. I went to bed, and it was my bed. Like, it was my bed from home. We moved my mattress, and
that must even be like a sensory experience that's bizarre to you, because like your eyes see a different ceiling.
Yeah, exactly.
But your back feels the exact same, like, for the last 18 years that you felt.
My physical self felt the same, but yeah, looking around, I woke up, I was like, this isn't my room. Where the fuck am I? This isn't okay. Oh, redact that.
That's right. That's right. I mean,
that was very weird, and yeah, it took a while to actually get used to it and feel okay with being here. Even like parts of it I enjoyed, parts of it I didn't, but now it's like this is the routine. Did you feel that? the first day you came here, like waking up, it was like, what the hell is going on here?
I actually didn't feel like the unfamiliarity. To be honest, I didn't get much sleep the first night. The second night is when it was like, it was more of a, I guess, an emotional response. It didn't feel real to me. It kind of felt like, I don't know if you guys at home really know what I'm about to say.
Don't talk to them.
You're above them. Don't talk to them. This isn't intended to be a listening.
Those lowly listeners can never live up to the standards we have here.
The standards
that we've clearly set already.
It just felt like when you have like a life-changing event. Yeah, it felt exactly how it sounds. It was like a life-changing event that not significantly, like I don't mean like, yeah, like
everything's fucked up now.
Yeah, everything's fucked up. It just felt like there was like a plane, like I was looking at it through like a plane of glass. Like it was like some impossible change that happened rapidly.
Mm-hmm.
And it just leaves you with this like unreal kind of uncanny feeling. At the end of 24 hours today, gonna go back and I'm gonna wake up and it's gonna be like 5 years earlier.
Yeah.
Like not that was my hope. It didn't feel real.
God, please let this be anything but this.
How did I get here?
Well, another thing that would make it different for you than it was for me was you moved to a different city from our hometown first. While you were,
already,
while you were going to your first college.
And then, I was already 18 by that point, so that was like a weird adjustment.
And then you switched to here, so you had like 2 changes within those couple of years.
And I took
had one like hard everything right away.
I also took like 6 months off before I enrolled in school, and like I was working a full-time job. Well, actually, like I didn't immediately, because I was enrolled in college in high school. I did like a dual enrollment thing, and I was taking just a couple classes, but still I was like doing college while I was in like working part-time, and then the rest of the time I was working full-time. It literally felt like I had an ungodly amount of, I'm not like flexing finances here, but I had an ungodly amount of money that I never had before that I had no idea what to do with, and I just like kept saving it. I'm like, dude, at this rate, I could afford to like live on my own. And then that's when I legitimately started considering that.
Wait, I can do that.
I could actually do that, because that's the only thing I thought like was worthwhile, because by that point I wasn't in like an active relationship with anyone. I didn't really have any like immediate plans. I'm still technically not, but
it's like, this is all, everything about me is for me.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know.
That thing's really vibrating.
Tell me about it.
Oh God, you don't want to know.
Goddamn. Goddamn.
Fuck.
I wonder how that. They could probably hear it because I'm like holding it right to the mic too.
Yeah. Daisy's done it again.
You mother. I'm cool.
We haven't played this in a while. I forgot about your occasional like really short outbursts that you have. Some fucks you over.
I'm a considerably reserved driver in real life, but I drive like shit in this game.
Well, there's a little bit more margin of error, and also it's okay to make mistakes in this because it's game, not lives of you and others on the road.
Not that I'm like being courteous, but like that, even in terms of the performance required of this game, I'm playing pretty terribly. You're like, on that I agree.
I was like full in the red on the border. If you desire to get close and talk, you might want to lower the voice a little bit so they can actually hear you. So I guess like speaking about classes and stuff, if you're comfortable talking about how did your classes this semester go?
I'm comfortable with them. I've been kind of like walking the line between full-time and part-time classes, because I've never taken any less than 4 for the last 3 semesters. And this last one was kind of the culmination of like, I just did field school. I'm sure I've mentioned on Luke's channel before, I'm an anthropology student, and field school is essentially just when you're in the pursuit of archaeology, what students just naturally will tend to do so that they have some initial experience in it. That was like 5 days a week. It was like a full-time job, basically, and I would be gone like over 8 hours a day immediately after, because that was over the summer, which, for you college students out there, like the summer is supposed to be break time. You're supposed to like just sit on your ass and zone out, or whatever you like to do. But
sit on your face.
Yeah, I like to sit on my face.
Yeah, sitting like your left ear. That's a good one.
No, I like to take my own ass and sit on my own face.
Take a slab off of it.
Yeah, I look like a fucking armadillo.
It's really impressive, honestly. I was surprised the first time you did it.
The first time it scared the shit out of me. I thought you...
But now I look forward to it. It's really a highlight of my Sundays.
It's the highlight of my Sundays. Yeah, like, essentially, I have not had a moment... And it's not that it's been, like, consistently stressful and, like, killing me. But it's like you've seen it. I just complain generally about it while it's happening. And then when it's over... Then I complain about like it. Oh, I hated that, but it's not that big a deal. I just am not used to an absolutely full schedule that like is partially what I've chosen, but also like there's a very limited amount of options there anyway.
I think the things about anthropology and field school that have bothered you have been more the people there.
There are, yes. I mean, significantly so. I'm not gonna dox anyone. But I like...
Well, you can. I'll just redact it, remember?
It's...
Cassandra
Smithers. When you are in anthropology, there's a very few amount of people you would generally meet professionally, because it's such a niche study. Like anyone has. I've met some people that I get along with quite well, and I've met some people that I do not get along with very well. I don't think I'm going to dignify it by going into, like, all of the details here, but I've learned some things, and so, like, basically what I'm getting at, if I'm saying anything, is that I'm glad to be taking, like, at least a little bit of time off, because I'm going to be doing an independent study for this semester, which is just one class, and this is the last time I will have to do it before I can worry about my financial situation. But what about you? Like, I've been talking about myself this whole time. How has your classes gone, and how has your experience generally been since changing your major?
Generally very good. I can't remember if I've talked about this on my YouTube channel or not before, but I initially, the first semester of college, I was going for computer programming. So I took some classes in high school, and I was like, this is all right, and make money, so that's cool.
Make money.
And there's probably going to be a large demand for it over time, because everything's computer. So I was like, let's do that. Hated it. Well, I'm not going to say don't do it, because somebody else might like it. If you like me, don't do it.
Don't be a fucking nerd.
Yeah.
Is what he's trying to say.
Don't be pushing your glasses
up. Get bitches, make
art.
Yeah.
So after one semester, I quit that and changed my major to art, because that's what I've done since baby. I'm still baby in many ways, so baby art make.
Since you graduated from incontinence to just wearing diapers.
So I do that now.
Sorry.
I got another one. Hopefully we can get a couple more of those over time. Some of the classes, especially early on, were not enjoyable for arts, because I don't like foundational classes for arts, because it's shit that I already know, and that most artists, if they've been doing it like through high school, know. It's like draw squares and boxes and circles and spheres and stuff like that, and learn how to shade gradients and draw a straight line in certain ways.
Like a prerequisite would be like having fingers.
Yeah. If you've done any of that basic stuff before, then you can pass any of those foundational classes, like the first semester foundational classes, very easily. So those are boring, but over time I get to do more specific things. My goal is to become a painting professor right now at a college. I want to teach painting to other dumbass students like me in the future. As I get into more classes that are specific to that, that's great.
Pass on the curse.
But there's still some classes that I don't like, mainly history classes related to art, just because I don't care about old-ass people. I care about
new-ass people.
Yeah, me-ass people. That's the classes that I still have trouble with. My recent report card, and I guess all my report cards, show that. I just texted my dad a picture of my grades for the semester, and it was 3 A's and then 1 CB, and I don't know how many other colleges do grading systems like that.
God.
But a CB is just the grade between B and C. They don't do pluses or minuses.
Yeah, I generally like it's bothered me less now that I've seen it. I've experienced it myself, because it feels more arbitrary than, you know, having like a defined actual letter grade that seems to reflect the universal scale.
Yeah.
that we put in place. It's just like it's kind of both. That's good enough for me.
Yeah, so I texted him that, and he said, "Look, grades look pretty good. What's a CB?" So I told him that, and he said, "Why the difference between the two writing classes?" Because the CB was in the writing about art class.
Yeah.
And I had an A in another writing class that was writing fiction and poetry. So I told him, like, fiction and poetry is a more creative writing class, so it came to me more naturally, and I enjoyed that more. And writing about art was essays. And he's like, "Gotcha."
I understand.
He didn't ask any more questions, and he put a little smiley face after that. I think he gets it.
Yeah.
I want to tell the story. I kind of hope my dad's not listening for this part, because it kind of negates part of the grades that I got. But it's the story I told you before about my drawing class.
Yeah. You can redact this if you want.
I probably won't. It'll be a funny story if he sees it. I got the good grade. That's all that really matters. So if you're listening, Dad, just remember that I got the grade. So it doesn't matter.
It was the thought. It was he had his heart in it. That's...
Yeah. Well.
Well, he didn't.
Well, I'll just tell the story. Luke from the future here, interrupting you to tell you that I didn't realize I told the story already, and I retold it in the 3rd episode of this where we talk about cheating in school. So I think it was better then, so tune back in a couple of weeks for that episode if you want to hear the story. It's a good one, so do it. But other than that, classes went well. Painting was fun. That writing about art class, got through it. You know, it wasn't terrible, wasn't as bad as the other art history classes I've had. The writing fiction and poetry class was fun and interesting. I hadn't really done any creative writing since high school, so that was a fun little thing to refresh that part of my brain and get some practice on that and hear very honest critiques and very critical critiques of my work from that class, which was nice. They weren't like mean, but we set up an environment where you make a writing of some sort, a poem or a short story or whatever, some things like that, and you read it in front of the class. Everybody gives their notes on it, written notes and in-class notes, like speech during discussion, and literally you're not allowed to say anything in response. They talk about it in front of you and to you, and only at the end do you get like an opportunity to ask questions.
They can actually ask you questions, and you're not allowed to respond.
Yeah, you're not allowed to say anything for like 15 minutes.
Do you know where your family is right now?
No, shut up.
They say their home address. They say your home address. You're just supposed to sit there and smile. You're like, no, this is all abstract. It's any affiliation or association to likenesses of people, real or fictional, purely coincidental. Then they get to do like doxing you.
But yeah, that was very cool. I love that environment. That whole class was super cool. Anybody that's in there that has a chance of watching this, I guess, listen to it. Hi, you're cool. Hope to see you again sometime, even though I probably won't.
You come here often?
I'm gonna try driving with one hand. I like how sometimes we just come back to making one little comment about the game when most people who are listening to this probably have forgotten that we're playing Mario Kart.
They have like no idea.
Yeah.
Keep getting shrunk.
Let's not go in.
Keep getting shrunk down. I'm supposed to be a cool, badass giantess.
It's supposed to be the power top.
The power top. I'm supposed to be fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin over here, and fucking I'm Clay Hot Alex Houston. You're like, this is just...
You really searched for that. I could hear the cogs in your brain like cranking and pumping out smoke.
My brain is analog. It's got cogs. Most people, they have bioelectricity going on, but...
There's just switches going back and forth.
Yeah. If I like stick a pencil in my ear, I'll fucking die. Like most people.
Yeah, I guess so. Like that John Wick scene where he sticks the pencil in the guy.
Yeah.
Was that in his ear though?
Like, he's like,
or his eye?
Is your brain analog? What?
I'm in his bathroom.
I'll just sit here.
Don't say anything too off color while I'm gone. No! You're actually starting an actual address. One thing that I really also like about doing this as a form of media is that I don't have to be sitting there with two bright ass lights in my face.
Slowly cooking.
Yeah. It was actually even worse when I only had one and I had it directly next, like to the left of my camera.
Yeah.
Because it was just directly in my eyes. It wasn't even coming from above. You know, actually another thing about it, I made a short once where I mentioned that. I don't remember what video it was from. But it was just a short, basically saying what I just said.
Yeah.
Somebody commented on it saying, then maybe you should get a real job because YouTube isn't a real job.
I saw that comment.
You've seen that before?
Yeah. I was looking through it.
It was the funniest shit in the world.
Dude, that's like the culmination of like the fucking internet trolls just dogging on you for no reason. Did you respond to that one?
Oh, yeah. I'm sure if I look up generation, because they talked about my generation.
Generation?
Yep. This is what they said. You could get a real job. I know your generation is very, 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 very lazy, but it's a concept that really does work.
What generation is he? Dude, that is like the boomeriest shit I've ever heard. And then I can hear the sideburns and the mustache.
Yeah. He also replied to his own comment and said, YouTube is not a job. And I love when I see this. Both of those comments had one like on it.
YouTube has never paid for anyone ever, and it never will.
Yeah. Both of his comments had one like on them, which means he liked his comments.
He liked his own. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with
when I say it.
I gave 2 responses. The first one was, this isn't my job, just a hobby. Great job making an assumption off of a 9-second video. I also find it very cute how you press the like button on your own comments. And then I said, also very funny how you make an assumption of my character based on my age. I hope you know that says more about your character than mine.
That's a pretty accurate assessment of the legitimacy of like what he thinks he's saying.
Yeah.
But seriously, get a fucking job.
Just kidding. I'll never get tired of getting comments. Mean comments. It's a highlight of my day when I get one like that.
Dude, I don't know why they're so fucking rude.
But on the contrary, I have had some very nice comments as well.
Yeah, but so, you don't have to.
You don't have to give them attention.
You don't have to.
I think I picked that one. I got one really nice recently that was on my Slay the Princess series.
Yeah.
It was just someone who was like, hey, I love finding people who also play this game out in the wild. Good video on it. I also got that scenario with the princess. It was very cool. We just had a little conversation about the game, and it was very nice. Thank you to that person.
YouTube is beginning to get like, because it's so old now and there's so many people on it, it's getting to be like some kind of like an epicenter for calamity. They're following current trends, and they now have shorter videos with like shorter watch time because they know that's immediately going to grab somebody's attention, or for however long enough it needs to.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is literally affecting the audiences that YouTubers that have been around for quite a while.
I agree.
There might be a bigger mix of different people, but I guess going back to like my original point, it's just like it's kind of like the Wild West now, where like you can literally encounter anyone and just have to like deal with them and all of their baggage.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah,
they have like at least for a little while pretty much full rights to say whatever they want.
There's a channel that has been around for a very long time called the King of Random.
Yeah,
I've probably talked about them before.
I've seen them a little bit.
So it used to be run by this guy named Grant, because that's literally like that's his nickname. That he based the channel around. Is just like he has fun ideas and he goes out in his backyard and he does them. They're usually like craft or hobby related. Nowadays, because the thing that happened is Grant fucking died like completely unexpectedly, and I think his family now owns the channel, and they just made a lot of changes to it's a little more like kid oriented now. Like it's like usually crafts that they can follow along with, or sometimes they'll just do kind of like vlog videos, which is really weird. Because the new hosts were strictly, the reason they started that was so that they can be part of like the craft hobby idea.
Mm-hmm.
But now they just have them doing vlogs, and the comments have turned visceral.
Oh.
From like, what was normally be like an actually bulletproof like content type. Because who the fuck dogs on like a craft channel?
Yeah.
5-minute
crafts.
It used to be safe. Like you would literally like get like just all thumbs up and like, oh, I really like that. I'm gonna try that myself.
Yeah.
You don't get any hate from it. But now, because it changed, and God forbid these goblins see change.
Oh, you goblins!
They are goblins.
Yeah.
Whether they realize it or not.
That's what their nickname is now. When we talk to our audience, they're goblins.
The goblins.
Yeah.
Not the lovelies, not the mark of fans or whatever. He used to call them like he used to try to like just randomly guess names like Sally, Billy.
We don't got no Sky Army.
Sky Army. Hey guys, welcome back to another Minecraft video. Remember, comment hashtag Sky Army and win a free iPhone.
Did he ever do that?
No.
I used to watch him a lot. Oh, I could steal Sky Army because I'm Sky Quelo.
Sky Crarmy.
Yeah, you guys are the Crow Army.
Crarmy.
The crummy of goblins. Do you think in the future, since YouTube started doing YouTube Shorts, basically trying to be like copy TikTok a little bit?
Yeah.
Do you think that eventually, over time, if Shorts get enough recognition and like maybe the full-length videos start to get a bit less attention as people's attention spans diminish, that they'll just fully transfer to Shorts and like that'll be the whole platform?
I really hope not, because here's the thing: Google owns YouTube, and that is a really good business strategy. To just keep, because if they can make revenue off of those things and also have entire shorts devoted strictly to being ad revenue, that's fucking money hand over fist.
Yeah.
But it completely removes the original purpose of the video. But like, you can never trust, like a corporation to do what's in the best interest of like society. Because here's the thing: if they did do that and they like, maybe they not that they would like take away shorts, but like make it so that I guess like the original kind of values of like, because the YouTubers aren't even like, they're affiliates of YouTube, but like they don't share the same values necessarily. They have their own goals.
It's called the YouTube partnership.
Yes.
When you start making money off of them.
Yes, and it's like, actually the shorts can be kind of a dangerous thing for them, because if people aren't watching full videos anymore, they're not going to get the revenue because they don't reach the ad point, do they? Or
Shorts have a different type of way to gain ad revenue. I'm not sure how it is. I haven't looked into it too much.
Is it actually measurable? I guess I'm not really a statistician, so I don't really know, but is it like in any way mathematically detracting from the views that they could be getting though for full videos, or do you think people would watch both indiscriminately?
I'm not sure.
Because if that is at all a real danger, it to me seems like it's gonna start affecting creators negatively.
If I look at my YouTube, like the studio, you can gain revenue rights. I don't know what ad rights. That might not even be the right term. You know what I mean. You can get ads on shorts in a similar way that you can get ads on a full-length video. There's like,
it's a different process.
You have to meet requirements of like views and subscribers in a similar way that you would have to for like watch hours and subscribers for full-length videos. So similar process. I'm not sure how much money is to be made off of shorts versus full-length videos.
Yeah.
Since I'm not making money off of either of them, because people aren't watching enough.
it's turn on your audience. Yeah. The one people that could make it real for you.
You're failing me right now.
Yeah. You sound like a Twitch streamer right now. You're not giving me enough donation money.
Shadow ban.
I'm gonna start being naked and having a swimming pool in the background.
Did you see that thing with Twitch? They recently added a policy, or like changed a policy about artistic nudity was allowed.
Yeah.
And then they immediately backtracked because that went fucking terribly.
That's a thing going crazy right now with like Charlie. I don't remember his name. Like Moist Critical.
Yeah. Penguin Zoo.
Not him specifically, but like because he's more of a YouTube drama creator now.
Yeah.
Like he's got videos about a lot of streamers on Twitch that are like, some of them do kind of really blur the line, and that one we did fucking horribly.
Yeah, we just finished another round, and it always cracks me up when we get to this screen. Neither of us made it to the podium of the top three, so it just puts us up on a hill with sad music playing.
It's like all or nothing.
Yeah, I got close. I got fourth. You got something else. Let's do one more.
Something else. Didn't even dignify it by looking.
I don't know about you, but I'm liking this so far.
I'm happy with this.
This is fun.
It feels pretty natural, with the exception of like the slow points where we're like, oh god, we gotta start filling the air real quick.
Well, that's the power of editing.
But then I forget that we're recording and it feels more natural.
Yeah, I think also because this is kind of like the pilot episode, and we have some things to talk about regarding making the podcast.
Yeah.
And just like things that are going on in our lives that we are updating on, I guess. So we're kind of putting that towards fuck you. We're kind of putting that towards the audience as well, like having things to talk about in that general way. But as we go on, we'll probably have less things to talk about that are updates for the audience, and we'll just talk about random shit again.
I think like, because that was more or less the intention, right? Like I think that we just kind of led into that, because as soon as we covered like what this is, then we're like, it's a fucking life event, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess because the intention behind it is like, oh yeah, we'll have like a natural conversation, right? That people can more or less leave on as like background noise.
Or listen to it if they want to.
I was about to say or don't, but then
I know I can't say that way, but I really do appreciate the moments where we talk about something from the game just for a second. Like it kind of interrupts us.
It just has nothing to do with
because the people listening, they don't see the game.
They can only imagine.
Like in the same way that we forget that we're recording, they forget that we're playing a game.
I mean, they don't see the game. I don't even see the game.
Yeah. I'm purely blind right now. And that's not because I don't have my glasses on. I just have no vision.
It gives the same effect as like tunnel vision when you're driving. Just like...
Where have I been for the past hour?
Dude, now I'm in...
Now I'm back in 10th. I can take 9th. Yeah.
I don't get it. It's like, as soon as I quit paying attention, it'd be like waking up and like having like, I don't know, taken too many drugs and all of a sudden you're being handed keys to a city. You're like, what?
Wow, must be a big lock.
Who are you? Must be a big lock.
When I'm editing this, I'm definitely going to check to see how long it took for that to register for you. It took longer than I expected. I was like, oh, it must not have been that good of a joke then.
A little rickety. It's not delivery. It's definitely like, for some reason, saying it in my own head again. For some reason, saying it. Are you trying to say anything, or you're just trying to get me to laugh?
Go ahead.
If you just started saying like boo boo poo boo ba ba boo boo, like in hopes that I would
just say what you're gonna say.
Like, what the fuck? I can't even remember now. I'm too far removed from it.
It's not delivery. It's not in the delivery of what something about how we're talking.
Well, yeah. It's just like the notion of like saying something with the intent of like getting me to laugh versus like, I don't know, saying something that actually like an anecdote with an intention.
Yeah, the intention is to get you to laugh. I'm trying to understand this.
I mean,
you ever look at me during?
You never look at me during. This started from like wondering how long it takes me to register that it's a joke.
Oh yeah.
That assumes blame on me. Like
But at least like, before the laugh,
like
I presumed that it was my bad joke.
Me saying it over again in my head makes me like reinforces that it's a joke, not that it's funny.
Yeah.
And then I laugh about it because I realize you're trying to make me laugh.
You pity me, and you don't want to make this video bad.
It's not that I'm pitying you. It's just that like, dude, a joke is a little bit more slow. Like that's like a joke made out of emojis. Like if somebody's like texting you and then you just start like throwing up gang signs. It's like whoa, whoa, whoa. Let the cookies cool before you put them in your mouth. Actually, it's like a Norm Macdonald. Do you know a Norm Macdonald joke? Do you know who Norm Macdonald is?
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of his stuff.
Yeah, especially when he was younger. He was kind of like the front runner for anti-jokes. He just starts talking, and he has a very kind of slow cadence, kind of like I do. He's like, oh, you know, I went and got a dog, blah, blah, blah. And I was worried about it killing me. So I was like, oh, let me get a smaller dog. Then the smaller dog killed me. And like that's the joke. Something like that.
A regular joke is like you say something and then something unexpected happens.
It's kind of like the delivery is the punchline.
Yeah.
But I also have some issues of my own with dissecting humor. Like the reasons it's not funny or it is funny is yeah, we should maybe talk about it more. It'll get funnier from there.
Well, yeah, the best way to laugh at a joke is to understand it. Pick apart it by the scene.
You shouldn't even be warranting a laugh because you didn't understand it the way I did.
And if somebody didn't laugh, then you need to let them know.
I don't know, man.
Why.
Some people devote their careers to dissecting, like they claim they understand humor. Oh, you want a chocolate?
Hell yeah.
I wish they had a prank chocolate or like a prank food in general that's designed to make a mess.
Oh.
Like.
It's called Nature Valley. Those bars that half is on the floor and half it's on your chest.
Like you open it. Like it's meant to be given to somebody else. Like you have one that's normal. Let's say it's like a chocolate bar that has like the world's runniest caramel on the inside. Like yours is normal, and they bite into it, it just like spurts all over their face.
It has to be packaged like a Twix where there's two of them, but you like the person holding it knows which one is the real one, which one's the fake one.
Yeah, just like when they bite into it, it's like they bit the head off of like a small rodent, and it's just like it's like gushing, like there's inward pressure.
Who used to do that? Was it Ozzy Osbourne?
Ozzy Osbourne bit the head off a bat.
Oh, it was bats, okay. Did he do that often, or was it like one time?
I think it was one time. It's a little dangerous.
Yeah, it sounds like it's dangerous.
Like, that was when he was very young, and he was, like, openly into drugs, and they just kind of, like, let it slide, because that was, like, I guess a rock star thing. But
yeah.
Him more so than most. And so, like, because he's still kind of, like, lucrative in terms of, like, he had his own TV show. I think it's just called The Osbournes. It's like a reality TV thing about his life and with his kids and his wife and stuff. And it's like, yeah, they're a totally normal family, except their dad is like post fucking drug recovery Ozzy Osbourne, and his brain is just kind of melted. So he's like, oh yeah, I don't when he's not being a rock star. There's like video footage of him turning on a blender because he wants to make a smoothie. He's like, my wife wants me to be healthy, and then he falls asleep on the couch with the blender still running.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, he's so metal that it's like he sleeps to a blender.
I love when you can hear the difference in somebody's, like a rocker's voice talking versus their singing voice, and it's like way different.
He's one of the extreme examples of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because his normal voice, he sounds kind of like a drunkard from like the Middle Ages. But then when you hear him, he's like, all right now.
Yeah. He's got such a unique voice when he's singing.
Yeah.
And I guess also a unique voice when he's talking. I can kind of see the falling asleep to a blender thing. When me and my brother were younger, I mean, like at different times because he's 7 years older than me, but we both kind of enjoyed the sound of like a vacuum going throughout the house. Vacuums are pretty loud, and to a baby that would probably make a lot of kids like cry or just like be uncomfortable. But like we just like that was great.
That explains a little.
It was like extreme white noise.
I mean, yeah, it's fine, but like, can you imagine if white noise was playing at the volume of like a car horn? Like it doesn't. It's not the sound. It's the loudness.
And it's also like inconsistent. Like it goes up and down.
Yeah,
unpredictable ways.
It's also like he fell asleep. Like that's like second to like falling asleep while like driving a lawnmower. That's kind of a machine that could get out of control really quickly. But yeah, he's like an old man, even though he was like 54 at the time of that clip.
I remember one time I was trying to figure out how to use a blender, like a NutriBullet. It's like the blender that has you can turn it upside down and just have a cup with a smoothie. You push it in and it blends it. I hadn't used one before, and I was trying to figure out how like the motor part of it, like the spinny part of it at the bottom, actually engages. So I just started like trying to twist and press on it, and it turned on while I was pressing on it. I just yanked my finger out of there really quick before I got cut.
My
God.
God.
Like, whoa, that was scary.
You very nearly
I figured it out.
You very nearly lost a finger with chimp behavior.
Like, wow, were these strawberries really worth it? It would have stayed the same color.
I've had moments like that before, but I've never like mistakenly in strictly trying to like identify something or like how to get it to work. Like, I didn't think this alligator would bite down on my finger. Like, yeah, I'd use a stick.
And then you figure, oh, it bites the stick. Shit. Well, I got no stick anymore. I guess I'll use my finger.
I don't want the stick to get broken in half. That would be catastrophic.
Yeah.
I better use something I value less. 2 fingers.
Dude, Toadette's driving that Toadette's driving the cart from the Mario movie that Toad was driving, the Pitmobile.
The Pitmobile.
Yeah. Isn't that what you called it?
I think
so.
In the theater? Yeah, it's like it looks like it's a G-Wagon on steroids. I mean, that's kind of what he is. If you look really closely, you can fucking see the pinky ring.
How many times did we go to see that movie? Was it 2 or 3 times?
I think 3 times, actually.
It's a great movie.
And we watched it once here.
Yeah, that's right.
I was personally very pleased with it, just because Illumination, they're the people that made Despicable Me. Like, I'm just going to let that speak for itself.
Mm-hmm.
It could have gone very differently. Like, there could have been, like, a constant fart joke. And there was a fart joke.
I don't remember. Where was it?
The Kongs farted or something.
Oh, yeah. That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
They had to slip one in.
There was also, like, some repeat jokes. They were really, really trying to sell, I guess, to kids, like, the whole... What's the old one's name? I perpetually forget it all the time. The magic one with the PlayStation powers. The Koopa.
Oh, Comic.
Comic, yes. Comic was, like, constantly trying to get Bowser to say the line to get Peach to marry him, like, oh, love really makes a guy come out of his shell. And then he keeps, like, saying that, like, the incel he is, and she's not buying it. And then, like, they use it again. Like, he's like, I told you that wouldn't work. And it's like, fucking, yeah, it's not working on me either. And, like, I really like the whole, like, they were clearly fucking because he wanted to joke when the Koopa Troopa walks in and Comic is dressed up as Peach.
Weren't they in bed too?
I think
they were in the bedroom.
They were like in a bedroom, yeah.
Ah, shit, we're on the hill again.
The ceremony happened off in the distance.
Can we actually see it?
And coming to you live for the first time in the Mushroom Kingdom, Nickelback!
Oh no, we're missing it!
Sorry, winners only. That shit
I probably won't keep this in, but I was gonna do the I'm driving like I'm black.
I'm driving like I'm black. Just got my license back.
Whoa, hold on a second.
Dude, I genuinely was sitting there. I'm like, can they allow it? Like, I know it's like country rock.
Because you were like, I can't believe they say that in the song.
Yeah.
Like, say what? And you're like, that first line, what about it? The line is, I'm driving black on black. Like, black of the tires on the black of the
top.
Asphalt.
Yeah. I heard I'm driving like I'm black.
The heart hears what it wants to.
The power of music.
Yeah.
Reveals the truth.
It makes it feel certain ways. Well, you got anything to say to end this episode on? I just hit my microphone. Hopefully that wasn't too loud.
The fuck do we call this thing?
We'll deliberate that later. Or I'll just send you a bunch of shit in the middle of the night.
That's what I have to contribute.
Let's play some more Mario Kart while we eat donuts and like stale donuts.
Is that what we're doing?
Probably not. Goodbye.
Bye.
Do you have any ideas for what we should call this? I got no clues yet.
Not anything like clever.
While we were recording, I didn't say it out loud. My mind was just going like way off track on what to call this.
Yeah.
And I was like, Cart Killer Cuddlers.
Killer Cuddlers?
But all K's. So it's like...
Cart Killer Cuddlers? I was like thinking in my head,
so keep that in the pocket.
Well, you were in the bathroom. I was thinking in my head, like, 2 peas in a pod, 2 Marios, 1 cart and Marios.
2 peas in the pod directly ripping off another podcast.
Well, like, yeah, no, I like.
How many times can I rip off Markiplier?
I knew that was. That's what we should call it. How many times can I rip off Markiplier?
Then we'd have to make it a theme.
Distracted bold.
Low attention spanables.